Man, we're the most violent, ruthless prison gang. If you ain't blasting, you ain't lasting, and that's a real life saying.
Were you scared to go to a real Texas prison?
So I tell him, like, bro, don't you know who I am? Like, you need to rewind yourself. So what you think I did? I pulled that burner out on him.
So when you're sitting in that jail cell at that age, faced with that much time, what's going on in your mind? At just 18 years old, Anthony Sanchez was sentenced to 16 years in one of the most dangerous prison systems in America. Inside, he joined Tango Blast, the most violent gang in Texas, just to survive. Anthony, welcome to Locked In, man. Flew in straight from Texas last night just to be here. I appreciate you.
Hey, man, first and foremost, I want to say thank you for the opportunity, for allowing me the opportunity to be on your platform. It's a major thing, especially coming all the way from Houston, Texas, to be able to tell my story, to educate the masses on TDCJ, reintegrating back into society, and how many obstacles and trials and tribulations that we face being convicted felons.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm sorry it took so long. We connected back in January. We were supposed to do this a while ago, but I'm glad we remembered and followed back up.
It's all on God's time. And remember, in the book of Ecclesiastes, it says there's always a time and place for everything under the sun. I believe it's Ecclesiastes chapter 3.
Yeah, and I think you must be our freshest looking guest. My man walked in here like a mafioso this morning.
Hey, check out one thing a real gangster knows, man. We wear suits. Perception is reality. If you're in the hood and you're just walking around looking like a thug, the laws are going to mess with you. They're going to approach you. They're going to profile you. But if you're dressing with a suit, either they're going to think that you just came from court or you standing on business. You look like you just got done working. You're a lawyer or something like that. So it's to change the image. That's why I wear suits, because I am a convicted felon. I got gang tattoos on me. I got diamonds in my mouth. So I'm going to be profiled if I dress with a tall tee, some Dickies, and some house shoes. So you have to change the image. And me being where I came from, dressing in a suit, it inspires a lot of young kids to show them, like, hey, this is how we need to conduct ourselves. This is how we need to dress. Because you got a lot of dope fiends right now that claim that they're gangsters, OGs, misguiding the youth. And that's why I believe the crime rate is so high. Because I was one of the youth that was misguided. I was one of the kids that listened to these old dope fiends that were like, man, you got to rob, steal, you got to pimp, you got to jug, you got to do this. And they gave me the game wrong. And nobody ever told me that aggravated robbery is 5 to 99 years. My first offer when I went to TDCJ was 66 years. And they don't tell you about that time. They just tell you, hey, this is what it is, this is what it is. But they don't tell you that there's repercussions and consequences to your actions.
Where did you come from? What's your upbringing?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, where are you from?
I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm from the South Side. I'm from Beverly Park.
What was that like growing up there?
Growing up, you could say, like, I'm Mexican, right? So, growing up, I lived with my mom. I seen my mom overdose when I was 7 years old. So, I was forced, like, I was abused as a child. My mom used to beat me. She used to skits out on coke all the time and just, like, abuse me. And that's what I thought love was. And that's probably why, like, I had a lot of trauma. Thinking, oh, like, if I'm in a relationship with a female, they're supposed to hurt me, abuse me, or something like that, verbally abuse me or hit me. But at 7 years old, I seen my mom die in front of me. And when I seen her die, like, I was a kid, I didn't know that she was dying. She was just on the floor bleeding, and I'm over here playing with her blood, whatever. My brothers come in from I guess, the swimming pool. My older brother, he slaps me like, man, get in the room. She's already dead. I don't even know that she's dead. I'm like, man, what's going on? I thought my mom's playing with me. Well, she ended up dying. I was forced to live with my dad, but my dad, he's a dope fiend. He's strung out on crack. He ain't never around. So he was living with my grandma and my uncle. My uncle was the breadwinner of the house. So I was forced to live with them, and it's me and my 3 other brothers. So growing up on the southeast side, it's the hood. You could say that. And you could say, like, being a kid and not having a role model, a positive role model, someone that could inspire you, you go through an identity crisis. And being Mexican, We don't have positive role models. You don't have positive leaders. The educational system failed the Mexican people. And when I speak for the Mexican people because I feel like we don't have community leaders. Unlike other nationalities, you're going to see that they have leaders in the history books, in the educational system books. But for us, we don't have nobody. They say that we're immigrants, that we're supposed to be deported, that we're savages, this, and that we're criminals, we're part of the cartel. But being a kid, not knowing this, and being in the environment, I'm like a hot cup of coffee. You set it in a room, eventually it becomes room temperature. We become products of our environment. So if I'm only seeing robbing, killing, stealing, pimping, I'm going to do that because I think it's right. Nobody is born a criminal. We're victims of circumstance. We never committed a crime that we didn't have to do. We're forced because we are underserved in the hood. We don't have enough resources. We don't have enough opportunities. And it's not that we're dumb, but we're ignorant to the tools within the system. So growing up and seeing all this, I was thinking like, okay, this is how I make money. I would see other kids with their mom and dad. They have Jordans. I want Jordans. So, okay, I'm going to go hit a lick. I'm going to go sell some dope. This is what I want. And listening and being misguided by, you could say, these fucking dope fiends that were talking about they G'd up, they're OGs, but they're still living at their mama's and daddy house. They ain't never left the hood talking about, hey, go do this, go do that. This is how we do it. Thinking, okay, led me down the wrong path because I looked up to them. And especially in Houston, our culture is 84s, sip and drink, candy paint. And I went down the wrong path. And I can only take accountability for myself for idolizing these false leaders, these false, you could portray and say gangsters or OGs. Because my ideology of OG is someone that elevates our community, that uplifts our community. That's why if you look at my content, when I say one thing a real gangster knows, it's a real gangster supposed to uplift, inspire, and redirect the youth. Because we're not out here stealing, we're not out here robbing, we're not out here killing if you're a gangster. You're supposed to be an OG. Teach the kids DBAs, EINs, LLCs, teach them about a Roth IRA, teach them about life insurance, teach them how to get generational wealth. But they're not going to teach us that. That's why I use my platform to try to educate the masses and show it doesn't matter about where you're from. It matters about where you're going because I'm a fuck up. I done messed up my whole life. I did 10 and a half years in prison. I was sentenced to 16 years. And if I could make it, anybody could make it.
Do you think your mom's passing at such a young age for you really robbed you of your childhood?
No, I actually think that's probably, I could say that's probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. Like, I'm not the type of individual to say that because this happened, it caused me trauma, it led me down the wrong path, it made me do drugs. When I was a child, I thought that, and I used to take Xanax and go off. I probably smoked a shitload of Sherm with Xanax, fry it out, talking about I'm numbing the pain. But I'm not going to say that caused my trauma. I'm going to say it was the environment that caused my trauma. It was the things that I seen. My mom dying was probably the best thing that happened to me because it's my story. If you embrace your story, because we only live once, that everything happens for a reason and you got to love it because where other individuals didn't have their mom die, my mom's passing was a lesson to make me stronger, to make me more able to the challenges that I face ahead, that I'm going to face probably today, tomorrow, or 10 years down the line, compared to another individual that never had a close relative pass. When tragedy strikes, they're going to go through mental depression. I'm not going to go through mental depression because I already experienced it. So I'm not saying that I'm emotionally numb, but I'm more than capable of dealing with any adversity coming my way.
Do you think you lacked love as a kid?
Did I lack love?
Like the people giving you love, your family, especially experiencing that much trauma at a young age.
Nah, I'm Mexican. Like being Mexican, like our family's very like, man, we love each other. We're never gonna let our family fall. Like if you're homeless, you're not gonna be homeless. You're gonna have like 10, 15, 30 Mexicans in a house together. That's one thing I love about being Mexican. Like we're never gonna let our people down. We might not have a lot of money. We might be poor, but man, we're gonna eat beans and rice and tamales. We're gonna be happy. I'm not gonna say that I lack love because the love was always there. I just lack guidance.
So now, young Anthony, right? What are you dreaming of for the future? What are your aspirations? What are your goals
But
as a teenager?
my goals, man, my goals as a teenager, I really didn't know. I was lost. My goals was just to make a shitload of money, be rich, make a shitload of money, or die trying. There was really no goals. There was no goals being oriented. But when I was younger, though, I was always educated. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to get into politics. I wanted to be a revolutionist. But being caught up in the streets, there was no way out. I never thought I could accomplish anything because I was stuck living in poverty.
Where do you think that desire for money came from?
It was out of envy. You're walking to school with Skechers on. You only have 2 pairs of clothes to go to school every week. You don't got no haircuts, and then you see the other kids with Jordans, their nice jewelry. Then you go to high school and you see them with cars. You don't got a car, and it makes you feel very insecure. Especially living in America, that we are idealistic and we idolize material things. We live in a material world, and people are mean. Kids are mean. They're gonna look at you and be like, "Man, you got them strawberries on. It's a shoe, I guess, from Skechers." They will ride down on you. Oh, you got them Sketcher Adventures on, like, because I didn't have it. So the desire for money was, I wanted material things. I wanted to look good. I didn't want to be clowned on. So I think that's what like made me want money.
Guys, enter the room rooster first. Blue Chew isn't just a tablet, it's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. And let me tell you, the energy is unreal. Last time I took one, I sneezed and knocked over a bookshelf. My junk dropped a mixtape. It was just one bass note for 37 minutes and it slapped. It's not just sex anymore, it's a superhero origin story. Coming soon, The Rooster Rises. Guys, this isn't just about performance, this is about legacy, or third leg-a-see. Give her group chat something to talk about. You know when you lay it down, they're talking about how it gets up. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at BlueChew.com, and we've got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use promo code LOCKEDIN at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. And big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. As you could see, I always stay strapped with some Blue Chew. If we had your best friend from childhood here today and we asked them how they would describe you as a teenager, what would they say?
They would say I was ruthless. They would say I was ruthless, that I'm not the same person I am today. They would say that they would probably say I'm a demon, I'm a savage. That I was really in the streets, and that I surprised them that I'm not the same individual. When I was a kid, my way of thinking was different from all the other little kids. I used to see them go party, go drink and shit like that, and I always wanted money. I didn't want to party. I would be in a room, you have 15 motherfuckers over there. Everybody's just chilling, they're getting high, and I'll go pull out some coke, give everybody a line, all 15 of them. And then they'll come, hey, give me another line, homeboy. Guess what I say? I got 20s for sale. I got it for sale. and I would bleed them, I'll pop them. You won't come off them Jordans, you won't come off that gold chain your mama bought you. So I really didn't have a lot of friends because I would exploit their addictions. Because I always knew, like, you have an addiction, I'm going to prey on that addiction, and you're going to give me what I want. And I think that's what, like, my best friends will probably say about me. But one thing they can't say is that I was a loyal motherfucker. If they got into it with somebody, they already knew I was the first person to call.
What was your first memory of really, really being in that street life?
So what really, like, made me go in the streets, I think I was like 10, 11 years old. My best friend, he called me, and he was like, man, they're trying to jump me in the hood. I guess he was trying to go, like, across the railroad tracks. I'm like, what? This is our neighborhood. We grew up over here. So I'm like, don't worry, I'm going to be there. I went in my uncle's toolbox and grabbed a screwdriver. I got my bike. And I rode all the way down the street. And I'm like, who's doing it? He's like, man, them people over here at these apartments, they're not letting me walk by. They're trying to jump me every time. I said, man, don't worry about it. We're going to go walk by right now. I left my bike at his apartment. So we start walking, and they came out, sure enough. They like, hey, I already told you, woo, woo, woo. And what you think I did? I stabbed him with a screwdriver. We're all young. They're young, too. He's probably a little older than me. But he didn't know that I was going to stab you with a fucking screwdriver. You're not going to tell me what the fuck I can or cannot do because, like, I still have morals. I was raised by my uncle and my brothers, and having 3 older brothers is kind of tough. They whoop your ass every day. If they say or hear that you got whooped at school, they're going to beat your ass. They're going to tell you go fight. So I think when I did this, I think that's what really made me get in the streets because I didn't know nothing about the streets till then. I didn't know about different gangs. I didn't know that the side of the neighborhood I lived in, there was gang banging or there was hood plexing. So I went and go stab them, not knowing now. I just made a shitload of fucking enemies.
Do you think you're born with that capability for violence, or is that something that's instilled in you and taught and learned along the way?
I think it's learned along the way. It's instincts. We're human beings. We just want to survive. So we're gonna do anything to survive. It's like a lion, for instance. A lion sees its prey, it's gonna pounce on its prey. Compared to a human being, when we first meet a random human being that we never seen, we're gonna look at them. We're gonna either smile or be shy, and it's just like, and our first instinct ain't, oh, I want to kill them. No, it's like we're compassionate by nature until we're pushed to the point, and then we're gonna have to survive. We're gonna be in a do or die mode.
What happens after that incident?
What happens? Really nothing. I done stabbed him. I didn't stab him that much. I just stabbed him like one time, and he like, well, what the hell? We were young, like I said. He didn't want to keep coming up. He thought he was just going to run up on me. I stabbed him, poked him one time. I didn't hit him that hard. So he was like, oh, what the hell? So they don't go. We go past. But after that, it was like a chain effect because now, like, I have plex with all these people, but everybody from my hood that knows me, knows my brothers, they hear about it. And like, nah, you ain't fucking with Lil Antho. That's our people. He's from our block. So now it's like starting conflicts with like all the Crip cartels and all the Brown Pride gangsters on the other side, and we're whooping them hoes. And I'm involved in it. I'm jumping out the cars. We're catching them one by one. I'm beating these hoes up with baseball bats. Like, we're riding around and in these vans. Oh, we see him. That's him. Boom, I jump out. Man, what's up? My homeboy let me catch my one with one of them. Boom, 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 boom. And then they start whooping them, start jumping them. So it just started like a whole chain reaction of things that I didn't know I was ignorant to. And I never gangbanged. I'm not going to sit here and say I was a gangbanger. No, like in Houston, people get the misconception that they're super gangbanging. It's not like California. It's not like other states. Like me growing up, this is for me growing up. I don't know about other people in the 90s, 80s, how it was. But during my time, we were more like hood plexing. Like, I'm from Beverly Park, you're from Broadway, man, fuck y'all. You're from Edgebrook, man, fuck y'all. And they're the same back, fuck us. We're around in their hood. They're like, what you doing here? Who gave you permission? So it was like more hood plexing. Because like you see Houston, you have Bloods and Crips, they're chilling together. It's not like California where you have Bloods and Crips killing each other. You got Sureños and Norteños killing each other. In Houston, people chill together unless you're from different hoods.
Did you end up graduating high school?
No, I actually was sentenced in prison when I was in high school.
So tell us about the incident that lands you in prison.
So I was around 17 years old. I was already fully in the streets. And I remember I was going home. I just got done doing a play, sold some dope. And two individuals approached me at my grandma's house. And I knew one of them. He was my neighbor. He lived like 2 houses down. And the other one, I seen him around. I know he's from the hood, but I didn't know him like that. He's an older cat than me. And he comes up, approaches me, talking some crazy shit. Like, well, you did this and that to my sister. Or like, basically like I dogged his sister out. Like I done fucked his sister and then blocked her number or something like that. Some dumb shit. I don't know who the fuck he's talking about. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, he's saying he gonna whoop me. So I tell him, like, bro, don't you know who I am? Like, you need to rewind yourself. He said, I don't give a fuck who you are, woo, woo, woo. So what you think I did? I pulled that burner out on him. So he looked a little shocked, but I guess he thought I wasn't going to do nothing. And everybody thought that I just ran down and shot him at gunpoint. The truth is, I didn't. The reality of it was that I pistol whooped him. And when I pistol whooped him, the gun went off and shot him. It shot him in the side of the head. And yeah, I was locked up that day. I was locked up. I did it in broad daylight. I was shocked. When the gun went off, I was like, oh, shit.
Did he survive that attack?
Yes, he survived. Because when I hit him, it didn't it just on the side of the head. It was like a little graze.
Why did they call it a robbery?
No, that's the aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I'm going to tell you what happened. I'm going to get into that. So look, I get locked up that day. I had a lawyer. His name was Ricardo Rodriguez. And he told me, man, easy case. He's like, the guy that you shot, he's saying that you walked over to homeboy's property and just drew down on him. He can't go on the stand and say that. You got self-defense rights. He said, because old boy that was with him said they came up to you. You're saying he came up to you. The only thing they got against you is that you're a minor and then you're running around with a pistol. So you probably get some probation. You won't be good. Give me 2 weeks. We got it. So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm hyped about it. Man, 2 weeks. Guess what happens? They wake me up talking about, hey, you got to go to court. I'm like, man, today's not my court date. Man, they hit me with so many aggravated robberies. I got indicted for 5 aggravated robberies. I was like, man, what the fuck is going on? He's right there, and he's like, yeah, they hit you with ag robberies, and 222 tips is real. People be snitching. Like, once they have me in the system, like, I got away on all my robberies. But what people don't know is, man, don't post shit on Facebook. Don't post shit on MySpace. Don't post shit on Instagram, because them laws be watching. Like, I robbed all these places. I guess, everybody knows me from the hood. I just fucking shot this motherfucker. I'm pretty sure he's probably the one that called 222 tips. But they indicted me. They used my face as a picture because they finally got me in the system. I never been juvenile or nothing. And they went up to all these places. Hey, is this the person that robbed you? And they're like, yeah, that's the person. That's the person. So that's how they identified me. In the state of Texas, it's he said, she said. If I say, Ian, you robbed me, Ian, you're going to jail. You're facing 5 to 99. It's fucked up how the system is. And you're probably innocent. But guess what? In the state of Texas, if I say you robbed me, that's a wrap. You're going to do some time.
What were the photos you had on social media?
I guess I had photos of me with guns, me showing money from the robberies. I was young and dumb. Nobody told me. They gave me the game wrong. I thought I was the flyest things since airplanes. I thought I was flexing. I got me a couple thousand. I'm like, you know how they put the money to their ear and shit like that. Over here buying jewelry, buying grills, just flexing with it. And I'm like, I feel dumb right now, even talking about it. But that's the truth. So they indicted me with all these robberies. And they told me my first offer is 66 years. Man, I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to sit here cap and say that I was square business. I'll stomp the fuck down. No, bro. I went back in that cell and I cried. I cried. That shit hurt. I didn't understand like 66 years for everything I did. I was like, what the fuck? And yeah, man, that's what happened. That's how I got the aggravated robberies.
How old were you when that happened?
I was 17 years old.
So
I was 17 years old.
You were charged as a minor,
I was charged as an adult. I was charged as an adult because I was barely finna turn, 18 in a couple months. So they charged me as an adult.
And were you charged singly, or were there co-defendants on this case?
No co-defendants. I did everything by myself. I told you I was never part of the gang. I never been the type of person to move with a whole group of people. I always been the type of individual, like I handle business. I handle business by myself, and I really don't need nobody.
So when you're sitting in that jail cell at that age, faced with that much time, what's going on in your mind? What are your thoughts?
Honestly, like, to think about it, man, I was scared as fuck. I was scared. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't understand what was happening. It was like unreal. It was unreal. Like, to be offered that much time. I was like, man, it's my first time. I've never been locked up. And then I'm around the environment of people that I don't know nothing about. I see gangs in there. I see people doing weird ass shit in there. Yeah, I'm like, man, what the fuck? Where am I? And it's weird as fuck. The Harris County in Houston, Texas is weird. It's renegade. It's not like prison. People get the misconception that like it's like other states where they have the gangs. No, it's renegade. You got people. If you come in with it, they let you have your shoes like Jordan. So it's like a rotation door. People coming and going. You'll go take a shit. You're going to have 6 motherfuckers run down on you, beat you up while you're on the shitter. They don't care if you're black, white, Mexican. Take your shoes, and one of them's going to take your shoes. And he's going to go home with them. Like, bro, why did 6 people beat you up just for your shoes while you're on the shitter? You got people doing weird shit over there. It's real renegade. There's no politics. It's survival of the fittest. And being in that environment, it showed me that I'm made to survive. I'm gonna fight hard as fuck. Every day I'm gonna fight hard as fuck. And I got a lot of backlash, especially from the Mexicans, because I grew up on the South Side. I grew up in the hood. So, like, I grew up with blacks. I grew up, like, interacting with them. I didn't know about racism or segregation or understand it until I went to prison. So when I went in there and I had black homeboys and I'll chill with them, and the Mexicans would be like, bro, you're going to learn when you go to prison. And I'll end up beating them hoes up. I wasn't blasting in the county. You can't blast in the county. When people be like, oh, in the county you could get down with Tango Blast, that's cap. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But yeah, I was beating them up. I wasn't thinking about joining the gang. I was over here trying to survive and fight for my life at the time. And yeah, man, the county was crazy. It was very renegade. I got beat up by the laws a lot. Like, the laws, it's real corruption. Like, right now, if you look, inmates are dying in Harris County all the time. I remember, like, they threw me in a holding cell because I beat up my neighbor that was sitting next to me. I was laying down, and I was on 1200. I was on Baker. It was a psych patient room. Like, they had me with all these crazy motherfuckers. I don't know why they got me. They got me on the 2nd floor with all these crazy motherfuckers. And this motherfucker, it's in the middle of the night, wakes me up screaming, you killed my mom, bitch. Black guy. And he beefs off on me. Man, I ain't gonna lie, I beat the fuck out this hoe. Like, I slaughtered this hoe. stomping them out, everything. The laws come in, they slam me, they throw me in the holding cell. So I'm in this cold-ass holding cell now for about 3 hours. It's cold as fuck. So I start kicking the door, bah, bah, screaming. So the officer, they come up to me. They're like, man, shut your bitch ass up. I'm like, I ain't shutting up. Nigga, fuck you. Bah, bah, bah. I'm kicking the door. He's like, I bet. So I'm like, I'm still making noise. So I see like 6 or 8 of them coming, and they got the little gloves on with the knuckles. So I go run to the back. I sit down. So they come in. They say, get up. I'm like, for what? They're like, get up. So I get up. You know what they tell me? You know what they tell me, Ian?
What?
You know what it is. And they beat the fuck out of me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Ball up game of fool, though. Right once they post up, I balled up.
This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. I've been playing around with my Prize Picks lineups this week, and honestly, it's becoming part of my football routine. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made simple. Just pick more or less on player stat projections, and you're in. No massive lobbies, no stress, just me versus the numbers. Here's what I've got for this week's lineup. Bo Nix, more passing yards. The Jets are just a mess right now on both sides of the ball, and Nix is finding his receivers better than ever. I see him carrying them up. Puka Nacua, more receiving yards. Baltimore's defense hasn't been able to stop the pass this year, and Puka's been on a tear. Daniel Jones, more passing yards. Ever since leaving the Giants, he's been slinging it like crazy, nearly 300 yards a game. Against Arizona's defense, he's bound to light them up. That's why I love Prize Picks. It makes every game feel personal, and it's fun watching your projections hit in real time. Plus, they keep it player first. Withdrawals are fast and secure, and they even have injury reboots. So if one of your guys goes down early, you're not completely out. So if you're ready to build your lineup, download the app today and use code Ian Bick to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Ian Bick to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. So these officers are just straight violent over there.
Yes. They had an officer in there called Sergeant Slap-a-Hole. He will go around in the tanks. If he didn't like the way you look, just slap the fuck out of you. Like, they abuse us in there. Like, it's real bad in the county.
Now, what are their races? Are they Spanish? Are they white? Are they black?
In Harris County, the officers are all nationalities. Whites, blacks, Hispanics, and it's fucked up in Harris County. It's like I said, it's renegade. There's no structure. There's no order.
Aside from that, what do you think was the worst thing you witnessed or that happened to you while you were in the county jail there?
The worst thing that I could say that happened to me, really not, I got a good ass whooping. Like I told you, it was renegade. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So, like, I was fresh in the system, and I didn't understand inmates jacking off on the female officers at the time, right? So you got this black motherfucker. He's on top of the table jacking off on the guard. And I like, man, what the fuck? That's the first thing I see. Like, the fuck you got going on? He tells me, hey, mind your own business, youngster. Sit your bitch ass down. Man, fuck you, woo, woo, woo. We exchange a couple words. So I'm over here putting on my shoes. He's off. Like, I guess he's coming towards me in the back. I guess he's trying to check me. So I already know I'm going to take flight on him. He's bigger than me. He's like 220. And I had a growth spurt in the county. When I first went in, I was only 5'5", 117 pounds. So I know I got to take flight. So right when I start trying to take flight, he don't do no punching. He picks me up and dunks me on my head. So all my air comes out, and he ground and pounded me. Boom, 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 boom. They stop it, whatever. And I'm like, I want my one. By then, the laws run in, shit like that, because we're doing it right in the open. The county, it's wide open. And I think that's probably the worst ass whooping I got while I was ever locked up.
Do you think you understood the severity of your actions while you were in county jail, or are you kind of just still being like a fuck boy kind of?
I was kind of being a fuck boy. Honestly, I was more, like I told you, I was more worried about surviving at the time. Like I told you, I was taught what to think, not how to think. growing up in the hood, like, I was thinking this was right. So, like, me going in the county facing all this time, I felt like it was fucked up. Like, they're trying to give me all this fucking time. Why are they doing this? It's my first time. I should be going home. I should get parole. And guess what? It was my fault for listening to the dope fiends in the county. Because you got these old dope fiends talking about, yeah, youngster, it's your first time. You should get parole. And they giving me the game wrong in the county, too.
What ends up happening?
So I end up fighting the case. I go to trial for one of my cases. I actually beat two aggravated robberies and jury trial. And people don't know in the state of Texas, if the victim does not show up during trial, you know what happens, right?
You're innocent?
It's dismissed. Dismissed. Boom. I beat two. So I'm finna go to trial for the other two robberies and the aggravated assault. We're doing them individual. My lawyer, he comes in, he does a attorney visit. He tells me, so look, I gotta be honest with you. I could probably beat two more cases at trial. Be real. But the case that you lose, they're gonna slam the fuck out you. I look at him like, what? He's like, look, I'm gonna be real with you. If you're white, you get probation. Slap on the wrist. Since you're Mexican, you're going to get about like 45 years, 25 years, around there. 25 if you're lucky. And if you're black, you ain't never going home. I'm just going to be honest with you. Your best bet is to take a plea. And I'm like, bro, I want probation. He's like, look, you could do a PSI, but I would not recommend it. The district attorney don't want to give you probation. They don't want to come off on this offer. Right now they got 30 on the table. And I tell them, well, we're going to do a PSI. This is what we're doing. I'm just going to go at the mercy of the court and go tell the judge, I did this, I did this, I did this. Give me something I can do. And be honest about it. I'm like, I'm going to take my lick. My attorney told me don't do it. And you know what they call a PSI in the county?
No.
They call it please stick it in me because they're going to fuck you with no Vaseline.
What is a PSI for the audience?
A pre-screen investigation. So they run all your background. They get character witnesses and everything like that. So I did a PSI. I go up. I had Mark Canellis, 351 court. For people that don't know about him, he's the same judge that sentenced SPM. So I went up. And I went and said, look, this aggravated robbery, I did it. The aggravated assault, I did it. But this is how it really happened on the aggravated assault. The fucked up thing was they were so mad that I beat them cases at trial. They closed their docket on me. They hit me with something called extraneous cases. All the robberies in like a 15-mile, 40-mile radius, they threw it on me. They just said a little Mexican motherfucker. And I swear to God, it was like 20 cases I did not do. But they didn't have enough evidence to indict me, so they're going to clear their docket on me. They made all these people write statements and come on the stand. A lot of them was like, we don't see them in there. But I will never forget, while I was doing a PSI trial by judge, this old white guy gets on the stand. They're like, do you see the guy that robbed you? It was him. And I'm like, bro, I don't even know you. I swear to God, I didn't know this man. I didn't rob him. And I'm like, so I go on the stand and I'm giving my closing statement. I'm like, look, I did this, I did that. And I'm here to confess to the crimes that I did. But I'm not going to admit to something I didn't do. I'm here to seek mercy. All I'm asking is give me something that I can do. I'm not trying to do anything older than me, right? By this time, I'm already 18, and it's funny. They gave me 16 years in prison. They sentenced me to 16 years. I think it was a steal that I got 16 years, but I think it was a blessing. I really do think it was a blessing. I didn't realize it at the time because other people get a lot of fucking time for robberies, but at the time I was crying. I went in there. I was fucking. I was sick to my stomach. Like, damn, I'm going to prison. I thought my whole life was thrown away. So, yeah, that's what happened.
Do you think that was the first moment where you kind of got humbled a little bit in your life?
I've been humbled a lot. God has a funny way of humbling me. I don't think that was the most traumatic way he humbled me. I think it was later on in my sentence that he really, really humbled me.
How long are you in county before they move you after you get sentenced?
You're in there from like 30 days. They shipped me off in 15 days.
Were you scared to go to a real Texas prison?
No, I didn't know what to expect, and like from the county, and I was lucky enough to get laced up by certain people. Like I told you, I wasn't gonna gangbang or get down with anybody when I was in the county. Had a good friend, Speedy. He laced me up about the blast and told me what it stands for. You got a lot of people, a lot of fake motherfuckers out here right now that do social media, and they want to go out and be like, I started Tango Blast, or I was this, I was that. The truth is, no one motherfucker started Tango Blast. If he says that, he could suck my motherfucking dick. That's the God honest truth. People have a false narrative of what Tango Blast really is. Tango Blast means together against negative gang organizations. Be loyal and stay true. We're not like a FAMA. We're a democracy. We're the greatest prison revolution that ever occurred. So when I was laced up by homie, he done told me, like, can't nobody give you a knife and say, go stab that motherfucker. It's all what you want to do out your quota, out your heart. So I agreed with it because we're here for the people. We're here for, let's say a little Mexican comes in, but he's going to fight for himself. He wants to be Solano. We're not going to let the FAMAs, we're not going to let the Morenos go try to extort him. Nothing like that. If he's fighting for himself, the blast is going to protect him because we are a prison revolution, something that's positive. But you have motherfuckers pushing a false narrative on us out here. And then you have people that come out and want to be super Tango Blast. When we don't gangbang, we're not a fucking gang. When you're in the world, you're a civilian. We don't orchestrate in the world. We're not a fucking FAMA. And they give us a false narrative. So people like me, when I come home, I'm labeled as a criminal. No, I'm a fucking civilian. That shit stays in prison because it's some prison shit. It's not out here.
Is that where it differs from most gangs or prison gangs?
Yes, because most prison gangs like Mexican Mafia, Aztecas, Pistoleros, RUs, Texas Syndicates, they run by chain of command. You have lieutenants, sergeants, and stuff like that. When it comes to Tango Blast, like I said, we're a democracy. There's not one leader. There's not one person that, hey, I started it, I'm the lieutenant. No, it don't run like that. It goes like this, like, who has the best trompa? You're going to have 500 motherfuckers on the rec yard, and we're going to raise our hand. I feel like homeboy should speak for the blast. He's respected. He conducts himself right. He's not going to crash the homies out. And he has amazing communication skills, and all the other gangs in here respect him. So he's easy to talk to, and he could de-escalate a situation if we have real plex with the Bloods, the Crips, the GDs, or these other gangs.
What's the reputation of Tango Blast in Texas prisons?
The reputation, man, we're the most violent, ruthless prison gang. If you ain't blasting, you ain't lasting, and that's a real life saying. We really stand on business. Most people will be like, oh, this. No, the truth is, everybody that ever opposed us, they're no more. Like Texas Syndicate, they don't even walk the unit. FAMAs, they don't even walk the units because we took it to them. We took it to everybody that ever opposed us. Like, now let me lace you up. I'm going to give you some real life game. So, like I told you, you got a lot of fake motherfuckers that say they started the blast, right? Ain't no motherfucker start the blast. There's not one motherfucker. The way, when you hear Houston, Tango Blast, the word tango, like I told you what it meant, but tango really means what city you from, what tango you from, homeboy. It's just what city. So you had Houston, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth. That's Tango Blast. 4 cities, 1 mission. So what tango you from? I'm from D-Town. I'm from Fort Worth. And then you have multiple tangos like Tango Orojon, Tango Bayuco, Tango Mexicle, Tango Chuco. That's the city. But the way the blast started, it was We're city boys. We're the city we're from. And we got tired of the Texas syndicate exploiting the Mexican people that were from Houston. We ganged up together and we took it to them hoes. Eventually, we got Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin all on the same boat. And all 4 cities took out the biggest penitentiary gang there is. The way Tango Blast, and it started becoming Tango Blast, you have to understand that there's a history to everything, right? Most people just think, oh, it just invented. No, there's an old movie. You ever watch Tombstone?
No.
They used to say, we're blasting, and it was 4 horsemen. That's where Tango Blast came from. That's where they got the ideology, blast, the 4 horsemen, Tango Blast. They used to say, we're blasting. So that's the real history. And that's how we started. We're just homeboys. We're not a gang. We're a prison revolution that wanted to protect our people. We don't believe in extortion. We don't believe in rape. We don't do none of that. And we don't accept sex offenders. I want to clear that up because I understand that you had someone on your podcast a while back. Tango Blast does not accept sex offenders. We check paperwork through the door. If they're a sex offender and they come in, like I told you, we don't do extortion, but they could pay to stay. They pay rent. We're going to extort them. They're going to pay rent to stay over there. All units check paperwork, unless you're like on a transfer unit or a weenie-ass unit that ain't checking paperwork. Everybody, if you're Mexican and you're from one of our 4 cities, we're checking your paperwork. You're coming in, we're going to look it up either on the JAG. We're going to look all your paperwork up and see if you're a chomo. We do not accept that.
So you guys aren't violent towards bad paperwork like other gangs are. You'd rather make the money off of it. Like paying to stay, like the Aryan Brotherhood or other gangs are not going to allow someone to pay to stay. They're going to just get rid of them.
So we make them pay to stay. That's on some units or they catch out. It just depends. But we don't believe in extortion. We rather make them catch out. So I'm going to give you a scenario. Let's say a chomo comes in. Homeboy says, I'm going to make him my chava. A chava is like their bitch in there. He's going to wash his boxers. He's going to pay commissary. All right, okay, that's what you want to do. You take that as your own self, as an individual. Because let's say someone starts fucking with him and he's a hoe and he's a chava, so everybody wants to bully him, and now you got to fight for him. We're all going to fight behind you because you're my homeboy. But after we go ride because you wanted to have a fucking chopper, we're finna whoop your bitch ass too because we don't believe in that. You crashed out good homeboys because you want to have a whole ass motherfucker under you. We don't accept that. That's the difference. Like, he did that as a man. He didn't do that as a member of Tango Blast because we don't accept that. And that's how it is.
Now, back to the situation. We did have a guest on that said he was Tango Blast, and he turned out, I guess, to be a chomo.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
I have no fucking idea, bro. I don't know what unit he was on or nothing like that. I really don't fucking know, but I know that he is a chomo. He is a chomo. He is a sex offender. I'm not going to say that he's a homeboy. I don't think he is.
Was he Tango Blast, though?
What unit was he on? Who could say they're on a unit with him? I don't know one person that says they were on a unit unless he was just like on state jail or something like that. State jail or like, it's not considered Tango Blast, you feel me? Or was he on like one of them little kid units or something like that never hit the real ID units and they don't check paperwork? He probably did a turnaround. And a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people come out and want to use this star for fame because, like, man, we got a little bit of motion in prison, and you got people want to use this shit for fame. Like I said, you got people that come out and say, I started Tango Blast. I'm the originator. And people don't know how it really is. So they're, oh, he's the one that started. No, motherfucker, you didn't start it. Then you got people come out then trying to get clout off of it because they know how the homeboys look out for each other in prison. So if they see a homeboy doing good out here, excelling on something positive, we're going to support you. We're going to support you. Even though we're not in prison and we're not gangbanging no more and we're civilians, man, we want to see our homeboys win because that's what we're about. We're about making sure our homeboys go home. And when I say go home, I mean not in a body bag. We want you to go home in one piece. And then when you are home, we want you to be a productive member of society. But if you come back, we're going to whoop that ass. Because you got homeboys that ain't never coming home. So with him that was on the podcast, I don't think he was a homeboy. I don't think he was a real homeboy. I don't know what unit he was on. The units I've been on the worst prisons in Texas. I was on Clemens, Vernon Hill, I was on Gib Lewis, and I was on Ferguson.
Now, going back to when you first initially joined, could you have declined? Could you have avoided running with someone, or is there just no choice?
I could have declined. You don't have to do nothing you don't want to do. You're a man before anything. I could have been in there and been solo my whole time. The way it goes, you go up to the blast and say, I want to be a homeboy. The blast don't go up to you and force shit. If people say they were forced to be, no, fuck no. That means you was just a hoe. Like, nah, like, I went up to the homeboys. I got knowledge. I remember I was in transfer unit on Garza West. I went up to the homeboys. They're like, what city you from? The homeboys check you off the rip. They're like, hey, what city you from? They want to see your paperwork right off the rip to make sure you ain't a sex offender. You show them your paperwork, whatever. They run your name. Okay, you're good. They lace you up on the rules because they're leaders in the prison system. They run prison. We run Texas prison. And they're like, hey, so like, what you gonna do? I'm like, well, I'm considering getting down with the blast, but before I make a decision, I want to watch because there's 3Ls, look, listen, learn. I want to see how y'all orchestrate and how y'all conduct yourself before I make a life-changing decision that might affect my time in prison. And they're like, nah, we respect that. They laced me up. Her homeboy Sleepy gave me a lot of game. Old school homeboy from the north side gave me a lot of game. I ended up hitting my first transit unit. It was in Willacy, 2013. And I ain't gonna lie, they ran my check instantly. I went in there, they're like, what's up, where you from? I'm from H-Town. I'm a homeboy. I told them like that. They're like, yeah. I'm like, this is my first time down, but I'm blasting. All right, let's run them. They ran me, beat the fuck out of me. The way we initiate, it's 2-on-1s, like a 45-second. Or it could go longer. They could backdoor you. You could have 10 motherfuckers on the wing. You're going to get a 2-on-1, 2-on-1, 2-on-1. They're going to keep beating you up until you fucked up. And they beat me up. I'm going to give them, that was the first time, like, I got jumped in. They tore me off the frame. And the way the check goes is like, we want to see how much heart you got. You can't ball up. You can't put your head down. You can't do none of that. They're going to run check on you. What we want to see, though, is if you hit the ground, how fast are you going to get back up? And when you get back up, what are you going to do? If you get back up slow as fuck and you're just, oh, you toast, bro. We finna tear you off the frame. Hey, you ain't going to be a homeboy. You ain't homeboy material. Because if we have riots and you get snuck from the back, how can I know that you can have my back? You just got hit hard as fuck and you barely protect yourself right now. How you gonna protect us? So stuff like that, and that's when I paid my first check.
Who is the biggest rival or enemy the Tango Blast have to worry about in Texas?
We don't have to worry about nobody.
There's got to be some type of enemy, right?
There is no enemy.
So who are you guys rioting with and having violence with?
Everybody. We run Texas prison. Like I tell you, like when you go to TDCJ, you have the Mexican gangs. We have all our benches. We run it. Only Mexicans could touch the TV and that. Then you have the blacks. They have their own stuff. The whites don't got no say-so. The units I've been on, I don't know on other units, but the units I've been on, they don't got no tables. They don't got no benches. They ain't got shit.
So what do?
They get raped by black people.
Even the good white guys?
They get raped. Like most of the times, like the units I've been on, I seen them getting raped by blacks.
And who are the black gangs in the prison?
You have Bloods, Crips, GDs, Peace Stones. You have Mandingo Warriors. You have a lot of gangs, right? Like every gang runs different, right? And yeah, like we don't accept sex offenders. The units I've been on, the blacks accept sex offenders. They'll be their Bloods, their Crips, and they publicize it like, man, that's the homie. Like, that's live. Like, they earn their stripes for doing that shit. Like, that shit's player. Like, they do weird-ass shit. Like, we don't. The Blasts don't. All our homeboys, they're going to have fresh whites on. They're going to be fresh. They're going to conduct themselves like men. Our rules ain't rules. Like I told you, we're not a gang. The way we set everything down is their morals. It's a code of ethic, how to conduct yourself, to make sure your bed's clean, make sure your hygiene's proper. Don't catch that pussy. Mandatory workout. It's self-growth and development. I could say the only African-American gang in prison that I could say that was respected because how they conduct themselves was the gangster disciples, the GDs, because they don't move like a gang and they move like an organization, but they conduct themselves real highly. So they follow like you have to stay clean, you gotta clean yourself. They have similarities towards the Blast compared to like the Bloods and the Crips. Man, they're like renegade. They're renegade. They fight amongst themselves. You have the Bloods, you have the bounty hunters fighting whatever they call it, the 5'9s, the Pyrus. They're set tripping amongst each other. You have the rolling 60s versus the 5 deuce. They're separated amongst themselves. There's no structure.
Can other races join Tango Blast?
Yeah, they can. Like, we're a Mexican gang, solely Mexican, but like we have white boys that blast. That's normal. Like I said, the white boys don't got no say so in prison. So if you have a stiff ass white boy, he knows that. And who's he gonna ride with? I'm gonna ride with the Blast. He's gonna pay the meanest fucking check, but guaranteed that's a stiff ass white boy. They got him fucked up. He gonna squabble hard as fuck.
And then the blacks won't fuck with someone that's running in the Blast from a different race?
The blacks ain't gonna fuck with no member of Tango Blast. Like, I'm gonna tell you this. The blacks in prison are quick to go to war amongst each other. They'll kill each other. But when it comes to going against the Blast, guess what's gonna happen? They wanna talk. Because they know, like I said, if you ain't blasting, you ain't lasting. We're gonna take it to you. We're gonna stab you up. We're gonna poke you. They're gonna be like, oh, the Blast don't do no punching. They're always gonna say that. They always wanna do riots and stab. Nah, we're gonna kill you. We're gonna kill you. We don't give a fuck. We're gonna kill you. And Tango Blast runs prison because, like, they might get into it with the Orojones. They're only one city, Tango. They're not that much numbers. You have, like, the Vayucos, all these stuff. They might get into it with a smaller Tango. We're not going to let another Tango get outmatched by a big organization because the blacks are deep. And they'll be quick to take it to them, right? But that's when we step in. Once it goes a little too far, like they're Mexican. We police prison and keep everybody in check. Let's say another Tango, their homeboys fucking up and they're making the Mexicans look bad. Y'all need to handle it or the Blast is going to handle it. Y'all have Tango on us because Tango Blast, we're the originators. When people be like, Tango Blast is the originators of all Tango. We're the reason why you have all these little Tangos like Tango Orojon. Tango Orojon came from Mexican Mafia. They were under them. We gave them leadway because we took out the biggest Mexican family, Texas Syndicate. So now y'all have leeway. That's the God honest truth.
Do you think prison made you do things you would never imagine your life ever doing?
Of course. Of course.
Give us one of those moments.
So, I'm going to tell you this. I remember, it was my first ID unit. I was on Clemens unit. I guess they stole homeboy's shoes out the shower. Where it's chow time, all the homeboys tell me to fall back, fall back, fall back. I'm like, all right. So they're like, hey, they took homeboy's shoes. We're going to set it off with the Bloods. We're going to take it to these hoes, right? We're going to kill these hoes. I'm like, all right. Like, I'm thinking I'm going to do some punching. I'm going to fight. Man, look, there's about 20 essays. So everybody's passing these fucking shanks like this big, like samurai swords. So they're passing them around. So I get one and I look at it. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I look up and everybody's looking like a baby Chucky doll, just smiling about it. And in my mind at that moment, I want to be like, nah, bro, y'all tripping. Like, what the fuck? I wanted to really do that. But guess what I told myself? I looked. I said, nah, these motherfuckers ain't stabbing me. I said, I'm going to go to that chow hall and whoever needs to get stabbed, I'm going to stab the fuck out of them. So it was like moments like that like changed me. It was more survival. Like, I didn't want to stab nobody. I didn't want to do this, but man, it's kill or be killed. You're either save yourself or get hit by the bus. Like, that's how it is. You can't say, I don't want to do this. No, you're a part of this organization. We're finna go to war, and you got to be ready, and you got to take it there. And then if you're not, they're going to kill you after that. So it's like, and that's what really, like, made me, like, put in so much work when I was a member of Tango Blast. Like, most people that say they're blessed, and you're going to see them with Astro stars on them. I got all 4 horsemen on me. I got Houston, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth. On the back of my head, I got 1622. I got Puro Tango Blast. I don't got 822 for Houston Tango Blast. I got PTB on me. I got all 4 horsemen on me. And I earned all my stars. Some people only earn the Astro star.
Do you want to keep that on you for the rest of your life?
Always. I earned that. It's a part of my life. And some people will be like, oh, you shouldn't be proud of that. You didn't know what I have to do to get these stars. You didn't know what I had to go through. I really earned that, and I'm proud of that. Like, I'm a survivor. I'm one of the few that actually survived prison and came home, and I'm living my best life right now as a member of society, and being humble, being God-driven. But I'm not gonna cover these stars on me. Like, I have homeboys that died for these stars. Homeboys that, like, for the principle, for the cause and the belief, so that we could have these stars. You got homeboys never coming home to make sure we could have these stars on us. Why would I cover that? I earned that. So when I hear people talking about, oh, I covered this. No, you were just a hoe. Let's just say that. If you covered your star, you're just a hoe. Like, I'm just going to be real with you. We don't cover our fucking stars. We earn that shit. We earn that shit. If you love it the way I love it and you were really blasting, man, guess what? There ain't no sliding back. You got a lot of cats out here talking about they slid back when Christian. No, you was just a hoe. Because I got a homeboy right now. He slid back when Christian. But every time there was an issue with the blast, guess where he was at?
With the blast?
With the blast. You think he covered up his stars? Fuck no.
Do you think that some of these other gang members, though, say like the Aryan Brotherhood, do you have respect for those guys that cover up their tattoos after, especially if they have like full-blown Nazi symbols on them coming out of prison?
Like other gangs like ABs and stuff like that. Like, I didn't see a lot of ABs in prison. I'm just going to be real. There's a couple of them. And like I said, like, the blacks would do them dirty. I guess because, I don't know if they thought because they were slaves or something back in the day that they need to, like, oppress white people in there, because, like, you see a lot of fucked up shit that the blacks do to, like, the whites. Like, when I was on Ferguson unit, they had a gang called GBNs. You know what that means?
No.
Get booty niggas.
Oh, we call them booty bandits.
It's booty bandits, same thing. They GBNs, but it's a gang. It's cliques, and their whole agenda was to rape white boys. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, weird ass shit. But, like, Aryan Brotherhoods, they're a family, and if they want to cover up their stars or swastikas and stuff like that, I understand why, because they're a family. They have to come home. When they're out of prison, they got to check in. And they make them do crash dummy shit out here. Me, I don't got to check in with nobody. Ain't nobody going to tell me when I'm out here I need to check in. No, they're actually a gang. Aryan Brotherhood's a gang. Tango Blast is not. So I understand why they want to disassociate out here. But when you're blasting, we're not a gang. So you should be proud of these stars.
Now, you were on some of the worst units in Texas prisons possible.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of those experiences in there?
I could say that, man, it was crazy. Like, I remember my first unit. I went to Clemens unit. So I actually got, what's it called? Let me rewind it back. I was on Willacy. That was my transit unit. And I ended up getting G4'd off of there. One of my worst times, the reason I got G4'd, you know what K2 is?
The drug, yeah.
So I was smoking K2. They didn't tell me that this shit, they told me it was like weed. Nah, that shit ain't like weed, bro. So I'm like, all right. So ain't gonna lie, I always knew how to use my mouthpiece. And man, I had a fucking female officer stuffing her pussy full of drugs for me when I was in prison. And what you think? I had a shitload of K2. Homeboy had it. It's whole little thing going on. And they're like, it's like weed. So I roll up a fat motherfucker, right? Thinking it's just like weed. I'm over here popping top, smoking. This is my first time. Ain't gonna lie, that shit killed me, bro. I'm fucking over here like, damn, I'm feeling weird. And then I lay down and I'm just like swallowing my tongue. I can't move. Now I'm shaking. I'm seizing up. I'm throwing up. And I'm trying to fight and get up. But that's what's making me shake. And it was one of the weirdest experiences that I had. I could say I died. I don't remember nothing. Everything went black. While I was fighting myself, it was one of my first awakening moments. Or I was just high as fuck because whatever was talking to me while I was dying told me that I'm just a computer simulation running my constellation, that I failed my programming, that I'm getting terminated. It was weird as fuck. I see my whole life flash before my eyes, and I'm over here fighting, and I just said a silent prayer, and I let go. Everything went black, and then I remember waking up. I had nurses and doctors over me, and they're talking about he's back, he's back. So I'm looking, and my brain's so chopped. I don't know who I am, my name. I don't know nothing at this time. I feel like a tomato. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm trying to get up. They had one officer, as a sergeant that was in there. He grabbed me like, sit down. So I pushed him, and he acted like he was going to slap me. So I flinched. And right when I flinched, I said, man, what the fuck? I took flight on this bitch ass. I started whooping that hoe. So I'm on top of him, beating the shit out of him now. All the nurses run out. I'm beating his ass. And all the officers come in. And like you see them, like when them cops start beating up them people on drugs and they have super strength. I had like super strength at the time. I guess I was still high. But they started getting the best of me, beat the fuck out of me. They got me in handcuffs. They took me to the back. And they beat the fuck out of me, bro. And that moment, like they were beating me up so bad, hitting my face, hitting me in the stomach. The only thing that came to my mind was the scream. I'll be like, ah, and they'll stop. They'll be like, shut up, boom, boom, hitting my head on the wall. And I'll be like, okay, I'll stop. And they'll stop, and they'll start going again. So they beat the shit out of me. They ended up stripping me out naked, throwing me in a holding cell. They had my wrist bleeding from the handcuffs. So I wake up the next morning, my whole body hurts. I hear the warden like, motherfucker wants to beat up my officers. We're going to hit you with more time and woo, woo, woo. So I go up to the door, bitch, fuck you. I got 16 years. That shit's going to eat up. I don't give a fuck. So he's like, who you talking to? He goes up. He sees me. You know what he says? He says, oh, my God. Get the medic over here ASAP. He gets on his radio, get the medic. I didn't know how beat up I was. They come. I'm that fucked up. They start taking pictures of me. I didn't get a free roll case for assault on a public servant. I only got G4 because I was supposed to get G5 or SEG'd. I just got G4'd off the unit. They threw me in the hole. They waited a whole month to ship me off to G4. And they let me heal up for a little bit, I guess, before they filed the paperwork.
What does G4 mean, G5?
G4 is 20-hour lockdown, 4 hours out. G5 is 23-hour lockdown. So I end up going to Clemens unit, burning hell. I remember walking up. You had an officer sitting. I'm on 3 and 4 row at the time. You had an officer sitting right there. Tell me why I'm walking up. Everything's on fire. I'm like, damn, this is why they call it burning hell. I'm thinking in my mind. The windows are on fire. Trash cans on fire. Everything's burning. I'm walking by people's cell. Their cell's on fire. But I realized that afterwards, they start the fire to kill the mosquitoes because the mosquitoes are real bad. So that was the first ID unit I went to. And it's considered one of the worst units. Burning hell, Baby Clemens unit. And it has a reputation that precedes it because it's not one of the newer units. It's a red brick unit. When people be like, I was on this, were you on a red brick? Those are the real ID units that like they're known like, that's an old school unit. They move a little bit different. Their segregation is 10 times harder.
How did it feel to spend those milestone birthdays in prison? 18, 21, your early 20s. How does that feel?
I didn't even count them. I was just lost in the sauce. Like, I didn't think about birthdays. I didn't think about nothing while I was in prison. Like, that was the last thing on my mind. I was in there thugging, but I could say I've never been dumb. I actually self-educated a lot. Like, you ever study quantum physics?
No interest in that.
Quantum physics. Time and space does not exist. It's only exists in this reality because gravity. Gravity creates time in our dimension. And while I was incarcerated, I educated myself. I read a lot of books. I created a lot of habits for myself. And I had my awakening. I woke up. I seen life for what it really is. And I didn't count birthdays. Even out here, I don't count birthdays. And people would say I'm institutionalized. I don't believe institutionalism is a bad thing because it has good habits. I wake up early in the morning, 5 every morning. I'm consistently working out. I have a routine. And if you ever study a book by Charles Dugan, it's called The Power of Habits. It's a small habit. For instance, if you wake up every day and drink 2 cups of water, eventually you're going to acquire better habits. You start implementing good things into your life, good things are going to come back to you because we're creatures of habits. And if you pass by the same store every day, eventually you're going to stop there. And now it's going to become a habit that you stop there every day because we're creatures of habits. So I think me being institutionalized is probably the best thing for me because coming home, I never forgot that. I never forgot the pain, the adversity, or my habits that I acquired while I was in prison. While other people get lost in the sauce out here, I think it keeps my edge because I am awakened, I am enlightened, and I have good habits, not negative habits. I'm not here trying to party. I'm not here trying to get high. I'm here working out because I did whole squad. You know what whole squad is, right?
No.
Waking up 4 or 5 in the morning, doing like the slaves did. Aggie, hit the ground. 1, 2, 3 floor. We're rocking on it for hours. I know how to work. TDC taught me that. It taught me hard manual labor. So it's a habit. It taught me productive things. So I could say that me being institutionalized actually helped me.
What were you thinking about for your future when you got out of prison while you were still in there? What were those goals, aspirations? What was the vision?
To be revolutionary. So when I got sentenced to 16 years by Mark Ken Ellis, at the sentencing stage, he told me I was unfit for society. I was unfit for the world. And I took that to heart. I made a promise to myself and a devotion that I was going to educate myself. And I was going to show him and everybody that I am fit for the world, that I am way more fit for the world. So while I was in prison, I started reading up on like Malcolm X, Huey P. Newton, Emiliano Zapata, Napoleon, Julius Caesar, Hitler. I started reading up on people that were incarcerated, people that overcame obstacles and conquered, great conquerors, people that are going to be remembered even after I'm dead. Because all these individuals I named made a revolutionary change. And some were freedom fighters. Some of them believed the cause that they thought was just, even though some people say it's wrong. They still accomplished a lot. And like I said, me being Mexican, being Latino, we don't have a positive role model. So me reading books and reading on these great men, those were my role models. Those were individuals that I aspired to be like. And if you ever read Machiavelli the Prince, he said to be great, you have to imitate great men. If you study Caesar imitated Alexander, Napoleon imitated Caesar, Hitler imitated all three. To be great, you have to imitate great men. So you have to like take portions of their life or characteristics that they had, just thoughts that were noble and incorporated in your life. Not to say everything they did was just, because I don't agree with certain things, but I can say that some of their ethics and their belief system, how strong they believe, I agree with. And I could say where a other individual only lives one life, I live thousands of life through books, because I read multiple books and lived through their experience. And it's like this, if I tell you this, if you ask me, who am I? I'm going to tell you, I do not come from any particular time or place. My spiritual being lives out its eternal existence outside of time and space. And if in my thoughts I plumb the depths of the ages and stretch my essence towards a mode or being distance from which you perceive, I become what I desire to be. Here I am, a noble traveler. I speak, and your soul thrills in recognition of the ancient words. A voice so long silent within you responds to mine. I could be anything I want to be if I think it. Remember, your thoughts become your words become your actions. We are a tiny reflection of the universal design, and we're all connected by invisible strings. Your atoms, protons, photons in your body, that's the universe. That's why I asked if you study physics.
Were there other like-minded members of Tango Blast that shared these beliefs, or did you feel like you were alone?
I was alone. They used to be like, man, homeboy puppet crazy as fuck, reading them weird-ass books. And believe it or not, a lot of homeboys see me now, and they're like, man, you're on your best shit. Them books helped you. Like, they thought I was crazy. I was a psych patient. So I think that books helped me, it educated me, and I want to thank my uncle for sending me books, my uncle and my brother, because they might have not, they sent me money and stuff like that. They might not came see me every weekend, but they tried as much as they can. But they never failed on not sending me books. They sent me books every time, and that saved my life.
How much time did you end up doing on 16 years?
I did 10 and a half years.
How old were you when you got out?
I think 27, no, 28. 28, because I've been out 3.5 years right now. I'm 31.
Now, when you're leaving prison, where do you leave off with the tangos? How does that happen?
Nothing. Like I said, it's nothing. Like, I had a homeboy. The riot didn't happen. I didn't get locked up or nothing like that. Like, you're good. We're going home. Like, our main purpose is to make sure our homeboys go home. We want you to go home. We want you to be with your family. We don't want you in here. Like I said, you got homeboys that come in. They might have 5 years, and something happens, they got a life sentence because we have a riot with a different organization.
So is it hard going from being in prison one day and then being free the next day? What's that like mentally?
I don't think it was hard. I think I was ready. I was more than ready. I think my biggest awakening happened when I was in G5 confinement. And I was hit with organized crime in G5. And when I went in there, like, a human's worst enemy is his conscience, right? It's going to eat at you for all the bad things you did. And I'm not going to say I was a saint while I was in prison. I did a lot of bad shit. And it's out of survival. But when I was hit with G5 confinement, like I told you earlier, a human's natural instincts is not to be violent. So it ate at me. In G5 confinement, you see people eat shit. You see people kill themselves. It's real, real bad. And I was driving myself crazy because you'll hear a knocking like this. Just that knocking would eat at you. It eats at your soul. Your mind plays tricks on you. It eats at you. And I think that was my biggest humbling experience. As you asked me earlier, that was my biggest humbling experience because before G5, I could say I was a man that thought he was God. I was speaking for Tango Blast, so I felt like I had all the power. Nobody could fuck with me. And God found a way to humble me and set me down and showed me that I wasn't a God, but only a man. And I think that he was the one that brought me out of darkness to light. And it changed my whole ideology in G5 confinement because I had to understand who I am, what I am, and where do I want to go. I had to understand that my actions through word or deed could affect another individual's life. That if we have a riot, if I'm so quick to set it off, that I could lose homeboys, that they might never go home. We might all get G5. They might have parole. That I was more slow up for violence and more willing to communicate now. Because when I was younger, it's like, we're going to set this bitch off. But while I was in there, I'm like, damn, I understood that my actions hurt a lot of people because it was me being prideful and me listening to older individuals that were in prison that told me, this is how the blast is. This is how we got to do it. We have to be like, take it to everybody. So I believed in that. And then finally I got humbled by God. And it was the worst time, I could say that, like the worst time. And I think it changed my whole life in prison and me coming home and me wanting to better change the youth, and it formed my identity. And it gives me motivation today that we need more positive leaders and role models.
Something I learned from my experience is that it's easy to be in prison and think about a better future and all of the things you're going to do when you get out, but it's a lot harder to execute that and be that change once you get out. So what was that process like for you to becoming the man you are today that's sitting across from me once you got out of prison?
So I actually, like I told you, I wanted to imitate great men. I wanted to be like Julius Caesar. I got him tattooed on my stomach. That's like one of my biggest role models. I wanted to be like Emiliano Zapata. I wanted to help the underserved people because I was that kid without guidance, without a dad and a mom. And I visualized I want to do change. I want to change people. And I started incorporating change while I was in prison amongst my homeboys because, like most units that I was on, I spoke for the whole unit. Gib Lewis, I was speaking for all of Tango Blast. And when I came home, I struggled reintegrating back into society. My first week out, people looked at me wrong. They looked at me crazy. I tried to get a job. You know what they told me? No, you're a convicted felon. You got aggravated cases. So my best line of action was, I'm going to go to school and be a barber. I went to all these colleges. You know what they told me? No, you got gang tattoos. Give me $10,000. One finally told me. I'm broke as fuck. And I went to one called Northwest Educational Center. And guess what? They accepted me. They accepted me. And they gave me the program debt-free at no cost through grants and scholarships. And me wanting to help the youth understanding poverty, I made a video giving out free haircuts, saying that giving free haircuts for kids coming for back to school. And there's a big influencer in Houston named Grizzy Hood News, millions of followers. She took that video and blasted it everywhere. And that was like, the plan was always to help those that are less fortunate. But God connected me with people to use my voice to actually help. And maybe even being on this podcast, my voice or a young kid hears this message and it shows them that we can overcome poverty. And what really made me like think about like helping was like It's your heart. Like I told you, G5 confinement, like it tortured me. And I wanted to make a change, and I seek redemption. I seek my own salvation. I did a lot of bad, and I'm scared to go to hell. I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and I want to go to heaven. I want to go to heaven, and I know I did bad. So I think that's what motivated me coming home to do good, even if I struggled, because it wasn't about materialistic things. It was about helping, and God provided, and He gave me an abundance, and He put me around the right people, because I just want to cut hair. And eventually I started doing Halloween events, and people were supporting me. The owner of the college, I actually work for a college, Northwest. I'm a convicted felon. I'm the only one at the college. Like, how's that possible? And how I started working for them was, I was like, damn, I'm giving out free haircuts. I help people. I told everybody Northwest saved my life. I started using my testimony. Man, I got 348 people enrolled in one day. The next week, I got 216. What you think the owner told me? He comes up and says, man, I got employees here with degrees, and they ain't never brought me this much enrollments. He's like, they do their paid ads, whatever. He's like, the difference between you and them, you actually care. You're going not to the rich neighborhoods, you're going to the hoods, because that's who I marketed to. I'm very known in the neighborhood. I went all to the hoods. I used social media. I market. I told everybody from the hood, and everybody from the hood came. And he offered me a job, and that's still my job to this day. And he allowed me the funds, the resources, and taught me marketing, how to organize community events. And Steve Modest, he actually mentored me a lot, and that's why I wear suits now. And that's been a big blessing in my life, to have mentorship coming home, someone to guide me and teach me, taught me LLCs, DBAs, EINs, taught me how to conduct my business, how to get community partners, how to get sponsors, and how to build my own brand in the process.
What's something you know now that you wish you knew when you were 13, 14, 15 years old?
Something odd. If I could say anything, that's a good question.
I try.
Nah, that's a good question. It's deep. Before you could take care of anybody else, you need to be able to take care of yourself. I wish I knew that. I think that's a lot of people's downfall, that, people in prison, they be like, I want to go home, take care of my mom, my dad, I want to do this. And they go home and they go right back to the streets because they care about everybody else. I came home and I was selfish as fuck. I only worried about myself. And when I was able in a position to help my family, I do now. Because they helped me while I was in prison. And I wish I would have known that then. Like, you got to worry about yourself before you worry about anybody else.
Anthony, I appreciate you coming on the show today, man.
Man, I appreciate you. Like I said, man, this is an amazing opportunity, your platform, and for me to give my message and hopefully scare people straight about, like, going to prison, the shit that you're going to see over there. Like, a lot of people don't understand, like, what actually happens in Texas prison, the adversities or the struggles that's actually going on in there. They're just, they think it's cool, we're going to gangbang. No, it's not. Like, I was in prison fucking playing with my own shit, going to war with people, fucking acting like an Indian. Like, you ever heard of that before?
No.
You shit and piss in a cup. You get these wires, you dip it in there, you pop the slot and go to war and fucking like a slingshot, because you use the bands of the boxers and shoot it at the FAMAS.
Wait, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yes. You get a pole, it's metal. You get it from the SSIs, you dip it in there, you let it sit for 2 weeks, you dip it in there, and you start going to war with them. Because they're going to do it to you. That's why the officers walk when they walk you out of G5. They're walking and they got to protect you. I'm going to war with them. I was going to war every time.
Oh my God.
Or like I had a TS behind me because there's holes in the walls. Like I told you, I was going crazy in there. I was going to war too. I had TS. He always used to ask for coffee. I acted like they had like a ceasefire, they said. I was still young and hot-headed. Remember this. They had a ceasefire. I used to crunch up pills and slide put it in his coffee and give it to him. He didn't even know. I'm like, yeah, that shit good. I just didn't like the motherfucker. He would try to offer me shit. I wouldn't get shit from him. I'm not taking nothing from the enemy. So one day, I made a shit bomb. Shit in a bag, put it in there. Look out, homeboy, here. I got a black bag for you.
Y'all are wild.
He's getting it. And then I pull the line and drop the bag, close the hole. Now you got shit all in your cell. Like shit like that. Like this is what we do in G5. We go to war with our neighbors and they shit you down. They're going to throw shit bombs. They're going to get a bottle like that. Put shit and piss all in it. Put it on the line. Pop the slot and swing it at your cell. It hits your cell. Now you got smell shit and piss all on your door and stinks in the cell. Yeah, it's wild, right?
Well, I hope you don't do that anymore, Anthony.
Nah, like, honestly, like I told you, God has blessed me with an abundance. He blessed me, put me around the right people. He put me around you. And, like, right now, what I do for your viewers to know, like, I am a community activist. They call me the Texas Mogul. I am check game. One thing a real gangster knows. You feel me? And I work with multiple individuals all over Houston. I work with attorney Kim Bruno. She's actually the #1 immigration lawyer in the state of Texas. So I'm real big on me being Mexican because right now they're trying to portray us as savages, criminals, and trying to deport our people. But I'm here to say, man, our people ain't never crossed no borders. The borders crossed us. We've been here and we're going to stay here and we're going to resist. We're going to fight back, but we're not going to fight back through violence. We're going to use the system for our advantage. So I work with attorneys. I work with car dealerships. I help people get approved. I do education. So if you want to come to school, if you're watching this, and I do check game videos. I host concerts for Nate Entertainment. I done hosted boxing events, professional boxing for Texas Combat Sports, and God has opened many doors for me. So anybody watching this, I want them to know, like, man, embrace adversity. Because it's not the past that defines us, but our actions in the moments of adversity and controversy. If you could live off 25-cent soups, when you come home, you could live off the bare minimum. Stack up your money, invest it in a Roth IRA. Man, go open up a couple lines of life insurance on a couple family members and just let that money sit. Like, simple, but you have to invest in yourself and struggle, love adversity, and man, embrace it because you already been at the bottom. Like, you were locked up. How long were you locked up?
Almost 3 years.
3 years. So you know how it is to struggle. A lot of people out here don't know adversity. So they want everything. And then you got people come home, they want to catch up with everybody. No, slow down. You know struggle. Embrace it. Embrace it. Love it.
I appreciate you, my brother.
No, I appreciate you. Like I said, like, man, this is legendary for me to be on your podcast. Out of anybody else's podcast, and it's locked in, speaking on prison, I'm just hoping this podcast changes one person's life.
Awesome. Safe travels back.
Hey, thank you so much.